I don't care what it's wired to, Karen Prescott barked, slapping a rolled-up blueprint against the hood of my truck. Put the speed bump here. She jabbed a finger at the asphalt like she was dropping a warhead. 30 feet away, the unmarked sedan shimmered under the afternoon sun, still and unbothered until the ground began to hum. It wasn't the jackhammer. It was the buried surveillance node beneath the street coming alive like a rattlesnake in the dust. I stepped back and muttered, "Karen, you just killed a federal asset." 10 seconds later, the sedan exploded into a fiery bloom. Karen screamed. I blinked. Across the street, the first black SUV appeared silent, menacing, a shadow on 4 wheels. Maple Ridge was supposed to be peaceful. Upper middle class. Retired accountants walking tiny dogs, hydrangeas blooming like clockwork. I took the HOA engineer job here to escape city contracts and bureaucratic chaos. My biggest expectation? Signing off on fence heights and confirming drainage slopes. What I didn't expect was Karen Prescott. She wasn't elected. She appeared like mildew on a freshly cleaned shower. Loud, relentless, omnipresent. A clipboard for every occasion and a Bluetooth headset so old it belonged in a museum. Her newest target wasn't barking dogs or illegal bird baths. It was cars going 27 in a 25. She claimed over 40 residents demanded speed enforcement. I checked, only 6 houses even faced that street. 2 were empty. 1 belonged to a teenager who drove like molasses. Her community support came from fake email accounts concerned citizen88 maplewarrior@gmail.com. We both knew it, but Karen leaned into fiction like it paid her mortgage. She waved a sketch at me for speed bumps drawn in colored pencil over a Google Maps screenshot. I should have walked away. I didn't. That one's on me. Maybe I was curious how far she'd take it. Turns out, far enough to blow up an FBI surveillance car. That sedan never moved. No HOA sticker. No garage. Most thought it was abandoned. But I knew the sign-sagging rear tires, sun flare-resistant tint. Federal grade. Weeks ago, a woman in a stiff blazer came to my office, pretending to be a realtor, asking about soil permits near that car. Later, Agent Kellerman showed up with burnt coffee and a warning, "Don't let anyone dig near that vehicle." I didn't ask questions. Karen? She asked questions. Loudly, repeatedly, and always with threats to escalate to the regional HOA authority, which, spoiler alert, doesn't exist. Now she stood supervising 2 guys in neon vests she hired off Craigslist to pour concrete into a public road. No permits. No survey. Just raw audacity and a 5-gallon bucket of poor decisions. Karen, I said, this isn't just illegal. It's unsafe. You can't go punching into a public roadway without city approval. She waved me off. Don't mansplain infrastructure to me, Mason. The city works for us. We pay taxes. The jackhammer roared. Asphalt cracked. 3 seconds later, the ground's vibrations shifted. 1 worker looked confused. The other yelled something I missed. And then I heard it, a rising metallic hum. Pop. Snap. Boom. The sedan's front half erupted in flame. Karen screamed and dove behind my truck. 1 worker sprinted across someone's lawn. I stood, stunned, watching federal equipment melt into a smoking pancake because a woman wanted to slow down Amazon vans. The first black SUV rolled up fast. Tires squealed. 2 agents stepped out, weapons at the ready. Karen stood up, brushed off her sweater like she was in charge, and marched toward them. Excuse me. Who authorized you to enter a gated community? This is private property. They ignored her. Are you with the city? I want badge numbers. Someone's getting sued. This is entrapment. An agent flashed a badge. FBI. Karen blinked. Oh, she said. They didn't arrest her. Not yet. But they escorted her aside and began questioning her. I handed my entire email chain with Karen to a woman in tactical gear with a laptop. She read the line where Karen wrote, "Stop interfering with my mission." Her mission? She asked. Maple Ridge Traffic Control Initiative, I whispered. We both laughed. Quietly. Because laughing out loud felt like a national security risk. By the time the fire truck showed up, 3 SUVs had arrived. Drones buzzed overhead. A black tarp covered the melted sedan. Neighbors gathered, filming. Karen waved her HOA badge at the feds like it was a diplomatic passport. She genuinely believed she was the hero in this. The next morning, she doubled down. She held a press conference on her lawn with a borrowed podium, a taped-on flag, and a confused jogger as her audience. She declared, "Let me be clear, I am not a criminal. I am a community protector." Agent Kellerman called me later that day. Her tone was exhausted. "That car? Part of an international cybercrime sting. 9 months of surveillance. Our suspect vanished the second it blew up." Karen's jackhammer had detonated Operation Digital Hammer. I told Kellerman about Karen's behavior, her fake crew, and her refusal to follow procedures. "We're building a profile," she said. "She might not be tied to anything bigger, but her interference wrecked months of work. And tell her to stop calling." Apparently, Karen had already left 5 voicemails demanding compensation for her sidewalk and a written apology she could post on Nextdoor. That afternoon, Karen barged into the HOA board meeting with a stack of handouts and a speech. "I am filing suit against the FBI for entrapment and destruction of HOA property." Darren, normally her yes-man, finally spoke up. "Are you sure you want to sue the federal government?" "It's the principal, Darren." She filed paperwork in small claims court. It was dismissed within 24 hours. Undeterred, Karen went online. She posted blurry explosion photos, ranted about government overreach, and launched a GoFundMe, Justice for Maple Ridge. It raised $11, mostly from herself. Meanwhile, I was summoned to City Hall. "We're not blaming you," a gray-suited official said. "But we need to understand how this got approved." "I didn't approve it," I replied. "I handed over my correspondence. They offered to let me sue Karen for damages. I declined unless she tried again." The internet had found her. A late-night comedy host roasted her on national TV. My old co-workers texted screenshots of memes. One showed her beside the burning car. When all you wanted was safer traffic and triggered Homeland Security. The FBI wasn't laughing. They issued her a cease and desist, no interfering with federal, state, or city operations. She received it during an HOA meeting while pitching a neighborhood drone patrol system. She tore the letter in half. She held another press conference. Banner, "Federal overreach ends here." There was bunting. A marching band. Halfway through misquoting the Constitution, a black SUV drove past. No sirens. No lights. Just a quiet reminder. Karen wasn't done. She began accusing me of collaborating with federal agencies to suppress community initiatives. She distributed flyers claiming a data node behind an HOA shed was a spy hub. It was an old irrigation controller. She brought in backup, Leonard, a man in a knockoff military outfit who sold energy crystals. Together, they filed a citizen's lawsuit using a pamphlet titled "Common Law Sovereignty in You." The judge laughed, then warned them to stop. Karen live-streamed daily from her porch in sunglasses and a baseball cap. She ranted about government psyops. One video was edited into a fake movie trailer, Karen versus the feds. Then came the twist. Agent Kellerman called again. "Funny thing," she said. "That explosion? It flushed the suspect out. Forced him to make a move. We got him." Karen had accidentally helped. "Don't tell her," Kellerman warned. "If she finds out, she'll think she's invincible." The next night, Karen broke into the safe house. Live-streamed the whole thing. She found an old surveillance panel and declared, "See? Proof." A hidden speaker blared, "You are trespassing on federal property. Exit immediately." The stream cut. 15 minutes later, she was escorted out in handcuffs. Not arrested. Just detained. She screamed about whistleblower protection. The clip went viral. Public sympathy evaporated. Even her supporters went quiet. The FBI tied up loose ends. The operation succeeded despite the chaos. Kellerman emailed me, "Useful but destructive." Karen called an emergency HOA meeting to demand a security detail. No one showed up. Just her, Leonard, and a box of granola bars labeled civilian rations. Then came the final knock. 2 agents. 1 envelope. No words. She opened it on livestream. Inside, a $74,000 fine. Destruction of federal property. Obstruction. Trespass. Lifetime ban from federal land without special clearance. She turned off the stream. For the first time, she went quiet. Weeks passed. The neighborhood returned to peace. Lawnmowers, mailboxes, kids biking again. The HOA focused on real issues. The speed bumps? Installed properly. Approved. Safe. We put up a sign near the entrance. Darren's idea. I designed it. Slow down. Unless you want to set off the feds. Karen moved 2 towns over. Her house was sold. Repainted. The new family planted a dogwood tree. Someone found an old baby monitor duct-taped inside a bird feeder. No one asked questions. We just moved on. But sometimes I still think of the explosion, the smoke, the surreal way one HOA warrior almost torched a federal operation. She didn't mean to help. But chaos has a funny way of moving things. I kept Kellerman's card. Just in case. For now, HOA meetings are boring again. Just the way they should be.